I was reborn as a dog. But luckily, my owner is a beautiful streamer. I woke up feeling a headache and looked around to find myself in a strange place. I saw myself in the mirror and was scared out of my wits. I had turned into a husky, and in my mind, there was a weird memory that was all about a dog's life. Just when I was in great pain, a pretty girl suddenly ran over and thanked me, "Little White." She said, "Today, thanks to you, you pushed me away in time and saved me." She hadn't finished her words when I felt my nose heat up and blood came out. She thought I was hit by a car and had internal injuries. She hurriedly cared for me and wanted to take me to the vet. But at that moment, I only felt that my owner was too beautiful. I stretched out and jumped into her arms. My owner's name is Yuyan Tan. She is a second-year student, 20 years old. She saw me still lively and thought I was fine. She locked me in a cage and went to school. Miss Sophisticated didn't even bother to give me food, let alone lock me in this iron cage. She must be too naive to think that this kind of cage can hold me. I jumped up and down and escaped from the cage, ready to eat. But when I opened the fridge, I was shocked. But this clever owner never cooked at home. There was only dog food left. Damn it, I can't eat that dog food. I have dignity. But when I smelled the beef, I couldn't resist. I ate until I was full and then I wasn't hungry anymore. The gluttons all use pots to cook rice. After eating and drinking, I felt sleepy and closed my eyes. So I lay down on the bed and prepared to sleep soundly, taking advantage of borrowing her eye mask. I gradually fell asleep in the fragrance of the eye mask. But when the owner came back from school, she found out that I was not in the cage and couldn't help but get stressed and started looking for me all over the house. Until she heard the snoring in the bedroom. She discovered that I was sleeping like a dead person on the soft bed. In my dream, I heard the owner say that she would take me to eat delicious food. I was so excited that I woke up with a start. But when I jumped up to her face, I only saw her holding a stick and looking at me coldly. She pinched my face and said, "Tonight, I will take you to eat a husky hot pot." I cried out in pain and complained. "I didn't mess up the house like this. It's not appropriate." The owner seemed to understand my dog's language. She took the eye mask and looked at me like that. Although, I'm really not a lustful type. The owner locked me in the cage again and then went to change into a very wow outfit and came out. She told me to be good and not make noise and do work. Just when I was curious about what kind of work a student like her could have. The owner walked to the computer and started live streaming. Seeing her 73 fans, I couldn't help but sigh that it was not even as many as me. Just when I was proud in my mind, a voice suddenly appeared in my mind. King Kong detected that the host is compatible with the system. The system logged in successfully. Congratulations to the host for successfully obtaining the God-level evolution system. Then there was another sound of King Kong. The system issued a task. Then a screen popped up in front of me. Please help the host achieve 5,000 rewards in tonight's live stream. Reward, evolution points plus 5. Seeing this weird task, I couldn't help but feel a headache. Right now, I'm just a dog. Even if I want to reward her, I can't do it. But I didn't know that dogs are hotter than people these days. After getting 5,000 likes, when I was feeling lost, the owner got up and went to the bathroom. Taking this opportunity, I jumped on the chair. I heard that pets are very popular. Maybe I could help her get some likes. But when I looked at the camera, I was stunned. After all, I had never live-streamed using a computer with a dog's body. It was really inconvenient. Seeing a husky live-streaming, the number of fans in the room gradually increased, but no one gave any gifts. It seemed that only exaggeration could work. I crossed my legs and leaned on the sofa, performing a move that looked very human-like. The room immediately exploded. Then the owner came back and saw me sitting in front of the camera and hurriedly scolded me. "Tan Xiao Bai, why did you run out and cause more trouble for me? My few fans are afraid that they will soon lose them." But when she saw the screen, she couldn't help but be shocked. Not only did the number of fans skyrocket, but also the gifts were constantly increasing. The owner was still feeling very confused at this time. She couldn't believe that this was my credit. So we and the owner live for 2 hours before we go offline. In this live stream, I not only completed the 5,000 task but also helped her gain more than 3,000 fans. After going offline, I sat on the owner's lap and enjoyed the benefits of a successful live stream. And at this moment, the opportunity sent a message saying that because of the good live effect today, the opportunity won the nomination for my owner. Just when I was sighing that the pillow was too soft, the owner hugged me tightly and shouted excitedly, and kept praising me for being too powerful. Then she discovered my sloppy appearance and immediately stripped me off and let me take a bath with her. Although this request made me bleed from my nose, I still tried to endure it because men and women are different. The owner saw that I didn't agree and let me go by myself and walked into the bathroom. Then I opened it and it reminded me of the reward for new people in the system. I got a special hacker ring, a full-level dog tease account, and a pill to upgrade all attributes. Then I put everything in the system warehouse. I checked the effects of these things clearly. After wearing the hacker ring, I could use my mind to connect to the network and online the full-level dog tease account like a bank account. I currently have 100 million dog coins. In the future, I can earn more by recharging or completing tasks. And the pill that upgrades all attributes is even more terrifying. After taking it, you can instantly upgrade your physical aptitude by 6 times. I felt a bit of a thrill as my body value increased. I felt that I had reached the peak of my dog life. But I didn't know that my peak road had just begun. I was reborn as a dog, but I felt happier being a dog than being a human. The owner not only had a great figure but her friends were also bigger by several times or even whiter by several times. The only thing that gave me a headache was that the owner kept making me eat dog food. Seeing that I had no interest in dog food, she reluctantly tore a sausage to reward me. Then she prepared for tonight's live stream. She also rubbed my dog's head and said, "Next month, whether we eat meat or bite the dust depends on your performance tonight." Hearing this, I was immediately unhappy. Why don't you treat me better? I can eat whatever I want. I am the king of dogs, the supreme champion with 100 million dog coins. But the ignorant owner didn't know anything about me and leaned on the bed to practice singing. Those fans clearly didn't like her voice. Is this owner not stupid? Very soon it was night time and the owner changed into another outfit and prepared to live. She also put glasses on me to show off Little White. We have to work hard tonight. Those fans are here to see you. Wait a minute and say hello to them. It seems that she is not so stupid that she knows that Tan Xiao Bai is the main character. Just when we were well prepared, the opportunity suddenly sent a message. The owner was depressed after reading the message. It seems that today we can't avoid a fight. The live stream just started and my fans came one by one to ask for peace and let me show them a little bit. But right at this moment, streamer Coco with 500,000 fans sent an invitation to connect the mic to this nomination content, which is to be a supporting role for someone else. No wonder my owner was unhappy. Coco ranked first among the newcomers. At this moment, her live room had 300,000 people watching and received 50,000 gifts. Seeing the number of fans of the opponent's owner, she immediately showed an unhappy face. Fans have so little, why do we need to compare anymore? Sister, or you just admit defeat. We just continue like this and it doesn't make any sense at all. The victory or defeat is very clear already. Unless your dog knows how to spit fire and do tricks. Hearing Coco's words, the owner immediately felt inferior and lowered her head. But the other party didn't stop and continued to say that the popularity was thanks to the dog attracting people, and it was determined that she couldn't go far. She said, do you want me to connect the mic with a husky and compete? Don't look down on people anymore, even though the other party has 500,000 fans. But my owner didn't get the nomination easily, so she wouldn't admit defeat directly. If it's connecting the mic and PK, letting me admit defeat directly, isn't that looking down on people? I can't admit defeat at all. You should give up this idea when this makes me feel passionate. But the next second, the owner received a rocket gift. A rocket is 1,000 yuan, and looking carefully at his ID, it turned out to be the big brother at the top of the live stream ranking of the other party. This action made us all stunned. Just when we were all stunned, the big brother at the top of the other party sent a message: "This sister, my goddess, wants to end this meaningless PK match early," and almost cried. At the same time, at this moment, the system sent a task in today's mic connection session: help the owner win and reward 20 evolution points. This task came at the right time. If I don't let her know my hand, she won't know how many eyes King Ma has. I just moved my mind, and the live room immediately showed that Tianming Wang Tin Nan had entered the live room. Tuyuan Tan is now my nominal owner. Hitting the owner also has to look at the dog's face. I gave 30 super rockets in one go and politely replied to the other party on public comments that bullying new streamers is really ugly. Gifts of 80,000 yuan. See how you can still face up. Immediately, Coco on the other side of the screen was scared out of her wits. She really couldn't expect that new streamers would have such a backing. The fans in the live room were even noisier than a motherfucking dog king, cattle, and buffalo. In just 1 minute, they swiped all 4 years of this guy's salary. People with money are truly terrible. To vent my anger, I directly gave 100 super rockets. This time, it was not only to the other party but also to my owner, who was so scared that her jaw dropped. That's 200,000 yuan right there. I still felt that it wasn't enough pressure and directly replied in the other party's live room: "Now it's my turn to ask you, do you want to admit defeat?" After he found out that I was still online, he jokingly asked me if I wanted to date online. This made the landlady not know how to answer. She said, "Big brother, don't joke with me. I'm still studying and I don't have any plans to date online. How about I wait until you pay me and then I'll give it back to you?" Seeing the landlady confused and embarrassed, I couldn't help but feel that this silly girl was also innocent and cute. So I quickly replied, "Sister, I was just kidding. Actually, I also have a husky. The money you gave me earlier, just consider it as buying snacks for your husky." The landlady was very happy after she logged off. She hugged me tightly and kept praising me. "Xiao Bai, you are so good. This is the second time you went live and you already got a big brother to give you a gift. Tomorrow I will take you to eat delicious food." In my heart, I couldn't help but mock the big brother. What kind of big brother is he? It was clearly me who gave her the gift. But luckily, she didn't swallow her words. Early in the morning the next day, she took me out to the street and also invited her best friend Meng Han. Just when I was admiring that the best friend of a beauty was indeed also a beauty, the person named Meng Han hated me so much that she spoke ill of me. "Why did you bring this stupid dog with you? How annoying is it to walk around like this?" She said that she hated dogs the most. When I heard that, I immediately became restless. Even if she is a beautiful girl, she should not bully honest dogs. Luckily, my owner praised me warmly and assured me that I would not cause any trouble. I was able to extinguish the flame of anger in my heart. A while later, Meng Han dragged my owner to the newly opened steak shop. On the way, my owner told Meng Han about the gift she received last night. This made Meng Han drop her jaw in astonishment. She became a streamer earlier than my owner, but I did not expect that she could attract such a high level of popularity. Then she shamelessly begged to borrow me from my owner. After being rejected, she still sat in front of me and praised me for being so cute. She wanted to touch me, but she had just called me a stupid dog. Now she wanted to please me. No way. I was reborn as a dog and owned by a streamer with a hot body. Relying on my intelligence, I helped my owner attract 80,000 fans on the live stream platform in a few short days. Although it was much better than 73 people a few days ago, I did not want to stop there. So I was preparing to see what the streamers with high followers were broadcasting. Suddenly I remembered that Jung Han, my owner's best friend, was also a streamer. After a while of searching, I finally found her live room. As soon as I saw her, she was thanking a big brother named Zhang Fu for giving her a rocket gift. Looking at her data, I could not help but sigh. She received 50,000 gifts in one live session. Her popularity was much higher than my owner's sister. Just as I was thinking, the top big brother Zhang Fu spoke up and said that the streamer had a good figure and asked if she wanted to date him, like booking a room or something. Jung Han had never encountered such a situation before. She immediately refused gently. "Big brother, don't joke like that. I am a serious streamer. I sell art, not my body. How about this? Tonight, you can choose any music you want to listen to. I will sing as much as you want. How is that?" As soon as she finished speaking, the live room became noisy. This streamer was also too stupid. Who wanted to hear her sing? Why did people have to give a small streamer like her 50,000? She didn't know why these empty words made Jung Han panic. "You don't want to listen to music? I can dance for you to watch. Or we can play games together." Facing Jung Han's rejection, Zhang Fu also lost his patience. "Stop talking nonsense. Madu Hotel, room 1108. If you don't come in an hour, don't mess around in this circle anymore." Jung Han heard that Zhang Fu was also at Madu and was shocked. She worried that Zhang Fu knew where her family lived. So she gritted her teeth and said what was in her heart. "Big brother, I'm just a small streamer. Please spare me. The 50,000 you sent to the platform have been settled. I don't owe you anything." At this point, my view of Jung Han changed a bit. Although she wanted to be famous, she was not a bad person. On the contrary, Zhang Fu was too arrogant. Just as I was feeling indignant, the system sent me a new task: help Jung Han get out of the trouble in front of her and get 20 evolution points as a reward. But now Zhang Fu demanded that Jung Han return all the money. He said she couldn't miss a single penny or he wouldn't leave her alone. Jung Han was restless after hearing this. Because after deducting the platform's share in taxes, she had to make up 30,000 to get 50,000. Thinking of this, she felt powerless. And Zhang Fu showed a smug expression and wanted to persuade Jung Han. It seemed that it was time for me to show up. Jung Han was not very nice to me at first, but later she was not bad. I decided to help her out, not to mention there were 20 evolution points too. I moved my mind and entered Jung Han's live room. I not only revived as a dog, but also got called by countless netizens as the king dog. And now it was time for me to show my power when I entered Jung Han's live room. The netizens welcomed my arrival. I was also a decisive person who didn't talk much. I went in and directly gave super rockets one after another. It directly made Zhang Fu unable to believe his eyes. Until I gave 100 super rockets, I stopped. At this moment, Jung Han looked dumbfounded in front of the computer screen, basically not knowing what had happened. I spoke up to challenge Zhang Fu, who gave 50,000 and asked to date that streamer. There are still no netizens who are quick to answer. I was the one who gave 200,000 last night. Facing my challenge, Zhang Fu stopped talking and quietly left the live room. Jung Han also showed a smile and sent a heart to me, and gently asked me what kind of talent I wanted to see. Surely I didn't think I had any intentions with her, right? If it weren't for 20 evolution points, I would also be too lazy to care about her stupid child. Who is her big brother? Is he her father or son? Duong Monghan immediately became stunned and couldn't help but think that she hadn't performed well enough. So she adjusted her state a little and showed a seductive posture to others and said, Wong Lover's big brother is really a jokester. This scene made a dog like me look and choke. The owner heard the cough and hurriedly turned around to care about me. I still thought I had a cold. It was still my car at home that looked more pleasing. I continued to use the concept to answer the stupid girl. If we are not father and daughter, how can I give you 200,000? Duong Monghan thought for a while and finally understood. I heard that the local tyrants always have some perverted hobbies. Maybe he likes to call it that way. As long as I have a good relationship with this big leg, I can be hot. I looked at this half and didn't see Duong Monghan speak. I thought I had joked too much. She might want to scold me. Then the next second I was directly stunned. I saw Duong Monghan holding the phone and said shyly, "Can you add WeChat to that, father? Later the live stream will call people to watch." I was reborn as a dog and had a streamer owner with a hot figure. But in today's live broadcast, I tried my best to fall over my own owner. Just now, I completed the task of helping Duong Monghan escape. The system immediately issued a new task for me to help my owner increase 50,000 fans. If I give all the more than 90 million gifts in my account to her, it will definitely attract a lot of people. But 50,000 is small, so there is no need to do that. I had a plan in my heart and started to act immediately without waiting for the owner to react. A dog of mine had decided, then my hind legs used the sharpness of a whole dog to go straight to the owner. Just when I was wondering what that soft feeling was. The chair couldn't bear the impact of me, and both me and the owner fell to the ground. She was very embarrassed and got up. "Xiao Bai, you made me lose face again." I was also very helpless. I didn't expect the chair to fall, but the effect of increasing the heat also appeared clearly. Netizens said one after another that they really wanted to become a dog. The owner saw that she could only bear the anger and apologized to the fans. Now there is heat. I gave a little more gift, maybe it was completing the task. I moved my mind and entered the live room and said I wanted to hear her sing. Anything is fine. The owner thought for a while and started her performance. If you raise a dog, you have to raise a husky. If you want to compare bad luck, it has to be it. The expression of husky is a bit silly, walking high and low steps. From your singing, I can feel your feelings for me. I was moved and gave out 200 super fire rockets directly. This made the owner excited and wanted to cry. No wonder Duong Monghan said that live streaming made a lot of money. After finishing the live stream, I also easily completed the task that the system issued. But right at that moment, there was a knock on the door. When I opened the door, it turned out to be the landlord who was annoyed and asked my owner to pay this month's rent. But clearly, the rent was paid last month. The landlord used the excuse of raising the rent to demand more money and acted very arrogant. He said that the house was his and he could do whatever he wanted. But the next second, his true nature was revealed. Of course, if she didn't want to pay more rent, she could use another way to compensate. He said that and his rough hand grabbed her slender arm. She was a streamer, so how could she compensate? She probably knew very well. I had to be an excellent dog who not only helped my owner increase her fans, but also ensured her safety. At the moment when the landlord reached out to my owner, my small universe exploded and I turned to him with a loud growl. The landlord was so scared that he immediately backed up to the elevator and asked me what I was barking at. At that time, he was quickly thinking that it was not easy to have a wife without a house and he couldn't let this dog ruin his good deed. This dog looked very fierce, but in the end it was just a husky. After thinking for a while, the landlord reached out to my owner again, ready to perform a scene of King Kong's Upper Palace Mother Queen. I immediately went crazy and kicked his shameless face with my leg. The 125 kilograms landlord fell to the ground. I quickly flew up and put my size 8 claws on his size 42 face. With me here, how dare he bully my owner? I beat him up until my owner told me to stop. The landlord barely saved his life. But he only glared at my owner and roared that paying more rent was useless now. He wouldn't let her rent his house anymore. He didn't allow dogs in his house. He told her to pack her luggage and get out immediately. He said that and slammed the door shut and left, leaving my owner with a frightened face. Now we both had no home to go back to. My owner quickly packed her belongings and prepared to stay at a hotel for one night. Tomorrow she will look for a new house. Just as we were about to leave, Duong Monghan called and cried and wanted to borrow me for a few days later. When I asked her, I found out that recently people in her live room all said they wanted to see me drive, which caused her traffic to drop sharply. It was a gift from my owner's father to my owner's sister, so of course I couldn't lend her. But after she thought for a while, she came up with a way. As long as they lived together, Duong Monghan could see me every day. So they moved to a new house with 2 people and 1 dog. Just when the 2 of them were packing their belongings, Duong Monghan said again that she wanted to borrow me for a few days. It turned out that she wanted to participate in the New Person of the Year award ceremony next month and compete for the best new streamer. My landlord heard this and was very confused. What does your participation have to do with Xiao Bai in our house? Duong Monghan explained hesitantly. I noticed that your fan base has grown rapidly recently. Maybe it has something to do with Xiao Bai, right? This time I might need your Xiao Bai to help me. Hearing this, I had a bad feeling. Could it be that she wanted to learn my way of increasing fans? You stupid woman, please beg her to teach you something good, okay? Duong Monghan is not famous either, but she also wants me to help her. But as soon as she spoke, my landlord and I were shocked. No way, I also bought a car. Just let your Xiao Bai drive that car. After a minute of horror, the landlord sighed and told Duong Monghan what happened. This time it was her turn to be shocked and drop her jaw. She looked at the landlord incredulously. So you mean that your voice has been taken by Xiao Bai? After getting the confirmed answer, Duong Monghan looked at me with a strange look. Then the 2 girls started joking around. We shouldn't look at these images. Let's skip them. Duong Monghan advised the landlord to also join the new person competition. She heard that the top 10 would get a long-term contract worth hundreds of millions. But the landlord was not interested. She grabbed the collar and dragged me down to the floor to throw away the trash with her. This warm image touched my heart a little. If I could turn back into a human, I would never miss this girl. It seems that I have to work hard to complete the task and evolve into a human being. But just as we were about to go out, we saw Duong Monghan and a man arguing outside the door. The man was her classmate who wanted to come in for a cup of coffee, but now that the 2 of them lived together, it was not convenient. Duong Monghan refused to let him in. The man who was blocked outside the door did not leave immediately, but shouted angrily outside. She could call someone else her father for money, but why was she so arrogant here? It's not just about money. I have plenty of it. Let's see how my landlord and I live stream at 8 p.m. Being a dog is not easy either. I have to live stream for hours every day. Just when I was lying on the ground, ready to sleep soundly, I was suddenly lifted up by Duong Monghan. Then when I went into her bedroom, I desperately begged my landlord for help, but she did not show any mercy. So I was forced by Duong Monghan to level up and get more attention. I was treated cruelly by Duong Monghan. Many times I thought I would die here. Today, if I don't suffocate to death, I will definitely be crushed to death. But Duong Monghan only treated me as a tool and did not care about my feelings. Because of her rude actions, Not only did the atmosphere in the live stream room soar, but the number of viewers also increased a lot. But the next second, the smile on Duong Mong Han's face disappeared. A fan named Li Long sent a message, "Streamer, do you need a father? I can give you 200 super rockets." He gave 80 rockets at once. He did not succeed in getting the female streamer's favor, but also made the viewers mock him. A big brother gave 80 rockets at once, but he did not get the female streamer's favor, but was ridiculed and teased by the viewers in the live stream room. Facing the rockets that Li Long gave in his message on the screen, Duong Mong Han immediately realized that he was the one who followed her last night. Duong Mong Han could only force a smile and thank him while asking him not to joke anymore. Unexpectedly, he gave another 40 rockets and replied smugly, "How about now? Can you call me?" Seeing that Duong Mong Han still did not act, he gave another 20 rockets. At this point, he could not help but urge, "How is it? Is it enough? If not, I will give more." At this point, his attitude also angered some fans. What the hell is this idiot? The Dog King yesterday did not force her like that. I can't stand it anymore. I can punch this idiot and kill 7 or 8 of them. At this point, Duong Mong Han cursed in her heart, "Is this Duong Tam Long crazy? If I let him do whatever he wants, the consequences will be hard to solve." And at this point, Duong Tam Long had created 80 rockets and a bunch of fans shouted, "Quickly contact the Dog King to teach him how to be a human." Duong Tam Long looked at the comments and almost exploded with anger. Why did everyone cheer for the Dog King who gave rewards? But when it was his turn, he became an idiot. He thought that he must have not given enough. Today, he had to give up until Duong Mong Han agreed to call him Dad. He gave rewards to his own classmate and then wanted to take her as his daughter. An idiot like this could not do that even without a brain for 20 years. Just when I was speechless and could not say anything, the system suddenly gave me a new task to help Duong Mong Han solve the current predicament. Because I could not wait any longer for the 20 evolution points of my big knife. After I landed in the live stream room, Duong Mong Han greeted me as if she saw a savior. And the viewers saw the drama and were not afraid of trouble. They told me to teach him how to be a human. There were also viewers who imagined adult things. I lit a cigarette and then quietly watched the Dog King online teach the fool. I had already taken off my pants and had toilet paper. They said, "A dog teaches a human how to be a human." But teaching this blind idiot is a small matter. For the evolution points, I did not blink and gave 200 rockets at once. Duong Mong Han screamed repeatedly, "Dad, Dad, that's enough, that's enough." This kind of husky life that relies on giving cards to evolve is simple like that. I thought that Duong Tam Long would stop at this point. But he originally intended to use the rewards to make Duong Mong Han look at him differently and then gently conquer her. He did not expect me to block him. At this point, Duong Tam Long completely lost his calmness. "Is it just 200 rockets? Do you think I can't afford it?" But what happened next made him doubt his life. The rich second generation took 200,000 from his old father to give gifts to the female streamer, but only to make her call him Dad. I was annoyed by this kind of idiot. I gave another 200 rockets plus the previous rockets. In just 20 minutes, I gave a total of 400 rockets. Even Duong Mong Han was terrified and shivered. In a moment, I gave rewards up to 800,000. I really couldn't believe that these things were true. Duong Tam Long could only leave the live stream room dejectedly. At this point, he was so angry that he could not restrain himself. He punched and broke the screen. It was not easy for him to get 200,000 from his father, but he gave it all to Duong Mong Han and did not get any response. He was also insulted by the netizens. He could only curse angrily in his heart. After completing the task, I had a total of 95 evolution points. It seems that I no longer made the first evolution mistake. The next morning, my landlord and Duong Wang Han went out to school. Before leaving, they told me to behave and watch the house. They wanted to lock me in the house, but that was impossible. The situation in the new place was not bad. I had never gone out by myself before. As soon as they went downstairs, I immediately followed them and smelled the freedom in the air. I ran all the way to the park, but just then I heard a dog barking behind me. I turned around and saw a black poodle. Strangely, I could understand what it was saying. It demanded that I pay the dog fee, which meant protection money. The little poodle also looked arrogant and told me that it was the boss here and ordered me to kneel down quickly. This time I burst into laughter. It was so small but still wanted to be a big brother to me. Facing my mockery, the poodle immediately lost its patience and howled and rushed towards me. It also shouted that it wanted me to taste the bitter fruit. I was annoyed by it and raised my hand to slap it on the face. I did not use much force, but it flew away. The poodle lay sprawled on the ground and did not give up. It spoke loudly in a hoarse voice. I listened carefully. Unexpectedly, it was calling for its allies. Then there was a rustling sound from the bushes. A fierce golden dog led a pack of dogs and surrounded me. Unexpectedly, when I was a human, I never fought, but when I became a dog, I had this opportunity. While I was thinking, the pack of dogs howled and rushed towards me. My hind legs suddenly kicked the ground and jumped up. In a moment, I beat them up badly. I was the undefeated dog king who had eaten elixir to upgrade all attributes. The poodle saw its friends lying on the ground and was furious. I did not expect that so many dogs could not beat one guy. And at this point, I had walked to its side and smiled wickedly on my face. "Do you want to fight again?" The poodle saw my fighting power and was scared. It knelt down under my feet and accepted me as its boss. We fought for the territory. I could not help but feel proud, but the next second I was discovered by my landlord, who took me straight home and locked me in a cage. I was reborn as a dog and had to live stream for hours every day with my landlord. But today, the live stream room was suddenly suspended. I thought about the future and could not live stream. My landlord cried pitifully. I thought it was because of me. I pressed on her and got the channel blocked. But I saw that Duong Wang Han was still fine. It must have been someone who maliciously reported. At this point, my landlord started calling customer service. After a month of thinking, I also had a suspect. I thought so and went to the live stream room of Kaka. Just then, I saw her hardcore fan competing on the screen. We helped her get revenge. Then the live stream room of the small streamer was reported by us and the channel was blocked. Seeing her family help her like that, Kaka immediately changed clothes and prepared to learn the 7-tone earthquake performance for the fans to watch. At this point, Kaka was very smug. She could report successfully thanks to a big brother who called the manager to thank him. Kaka decided to satisfy him. At this point, my landlord had finished talking with customer service and immediately burst into tears. It seemed that I had to quickly restore her account. I remember that in the friend list of Tianmen Chutin Nan, there seemed to be quite a few managers of the website. I tried to contact a fighting fish director named Luong Tan Hai. He was not only online but also replied immediately. This was the privilege of the Emperor-level account, right? I told him what happened and he promised to verify it and give me an answer. The first thing Luong Tan Hai did was call the supervisor before letting the other party talk. Luong Tan Hai cursed him and asked him to solve this within an hour. If not, he did not need to work anymore. The supervisor quickly found out that the person who reported my landlord was a fan of Kaka. So he clicked on Kaka's live stream room. Just then, he saw Kaka dressed in cool clothes and performing an earthquake. Although the supervisor could not help but look at her a few more times, the fans still saw a message on the screen that the streamer spread bad information and the live stream room was banned from broadcasting for 3 months by the Fighting Fish platform. Then my landlord also received a phone call from customer service saying that it was a misunderstanding by the staff that led to the live stream room being locked. They would compensate with a nomination on the front page. Hanging up the phone, my landlord happily ran to hug me and said in her mouth that she could reopen the live stream room. It was great. Then she prepared to live stream. But just then, the system also announced a new task to help a female streamer win the Best New Streamer award of the Fighting Fish. The ranking requirement was not lower than 5th place. The reward was 30 evolution points. This was the first time I encountered a task with such a high reward. It seemed that the day I evolved was not far away. The female streamer was naturally my landlord. After preparing, she opened the live stream. I was reborn as a dog and had a hot-bodied female streamer as my landlord. Tonight, I gave her 100 million just to complete an evolution task to help her enter the top 10 new streamers. But at this point, her ranking was so miserable that I did not dare to look. She had not reached the 100,000th place yet. The Best New Person ranking required 700,000 rewards to enter the top 10. The first place had already exceeded 1.5 million. The whole ranking was a money printing machine. But at this point, the contest had just started on the first day. I had to wait until the last day for the most fierce competition. Now I had to help her not get eliminated first. I said and did it. I entered the live stream room and asked her if she needed my help to compete for the Best New Streamer award. My landlord saw this and immediately hesitated. Then she bowed to me and thanked me for the kindness of Chu Tan Nan's big brother. But she refused to compete for the Best New Person award. She refused because she was afraid that I had ulterior motives. But the kindness of the Dog King was not something that she could refuse by saying no. At first, I gave 200 rockets, but her ranking only jumped to the 9,000th place. There was no way out. This was already the most valuable gift. Then I gave gifts continuously and gave 500 rockets at once. At this point, she was also scared because I usually only gave 200. The viewers were buzzing and said, there were already 500 rockets. Could he give more? Seeing this scene, I smiled and gave 1,000 rockets at once. It immediately made her account jump to the first place on the new person ranking list. Seeing this, she could not sit still anymore and immediately stood up. Big brother, don't give any more. It's really too much. At this point, Duong Monghan also left the live stream room and went to congratulate her with envy. Then she picked me up and said sweetly, now Xiao Bai is mine. But at this point, I also received a series of friend requests from Tuet Phi, who was ranked first on the list before. Seeing her stubbornness, I accepted the request and wanted to see what she wanted to do. After becoming friends, I found out that she also had an Emperor-level account. Tuet Phi directly stated her intention, Dog King, our associations have already negotiated with the Fighting Fish for promoting their new streamers and decided who would win the Best Streamer award this time. So we hope that you don't intervene anymore. Hearing her words, I was furious. They did not let me participate, which meant they robbed me of my evolution points. What if I wanted to participate? Dog King, we are both Emperor-level accounts and I also know your strength well, but there is still a big gap between us and you. So I advise you not to participate and avoid hurting our harmony. Before that, our association leaders had already discussed and decided that the first place tonight would be streamer Tuet Phi. So we hope that you stop giving gifts and don't give more gifts anymore. It seemed that they did not care about me as a Dog King at all. Open the negotiation box. Have you negotiated with me? I was reborn as a dog and gave 5,000 super rockets at once when my landlord did not live stream. But now I was threatened by the associations. I proposed that as long as they gave me 2 new streamer positions, I would definitely not interfere with their affairs. But these 2 new streamer positions are natural for the boss and Duong Monghan. The opponent used tactics of both threatening and enticing. The Dog King said that the money for the 1,000 super rockets that he had rewarded the association, we would collect and pay him half. Everyone eats from the same bowl with each other, there is no need to turn against each other. And if you have to lose both sides on a profitable platform, no one will benefit from it, so you should think carefully. It's still time to withdraw now. After hearing his words, I was furious. I decided the ranking myself, but I didn't allow others to participate. And he dared to threaten me? Even if I have to die with a broken net, I still want to try. After I hung up the phone, the president angrily threw the phone to the ground. She had been rampant in this business for many years and had never met anyone as stubborn as me. She immediately sent her subordinates to investigate my detailed information. I looked at the new person ranking for a long time and there was no change. Could it be that they were scared by me and gave up? As I was thinking, Duong Monghan told me the news. She cried and told me that she also wanted to get on the board. She didn't expect that she was such a wet type that it was hard to imagine what expression she was using to text me. Help her too. But the premise is to ensure that you advance into the top 3. Now the battle with the association is still uncertain. You can only wait until the last few days and then see. Duong Monghan waited for 5 minutes and saw that I didn't text back. She looked like a neglected concubine sitting in front of the computer alone. But just then she received a message to reward the most famous streamers. The streamer who won the Best Newcomer award this time will have a chance to participate in a special live stream challenge in the wild. This live stream will last for 7 days and will also contact major TV stations to broadcast together. But whether or not to participate depends on the individual streamer's wishes. As soon as Duong Monghan finished reading the news, the boss pushed the door in and they talked to each other and both wanted to participate in the live stream challenge in the wild. It seems that we have to get the best newcomer position for these 2 people. Then the next day, the 2 bosses went to school and her ranking also changed from 1st to 78th while Monghan had dropped out of 2000. At this time, the first place was rewarded with 95.6 million, only 70 million could enter the top 10. With my assets, it was easy to get them into the top 10. So today they got out of school quite late, so I decided to give them gifts first. In the situation of not live streaming, I worked very hard and lost a lot of energy before giving 5,000 super rockets. My action quickly attracted the attention of other associations. In their eyes, I must be a madman who rewarded streamers when they were not live streaming. They negotiated with each other for a while and decided to pull me into the discussion group and asked for 10 million to win first place. They said that they would play until 10 million and stop, but did they ever ask if I agreed or not? I was reborn as a dog when the boss had not opened the live stream to reward 5,000 super rockets. This action also attracted the attention of several associations. They pulled me into the group chat and told me that I had smashed 10 million before and raised the price of the best new streamer this time. They thought that I also worked for the association and advised me not to harm myself. Because if the total amount of gifts really increased to over 10 million, everyone would lose a lot. And some people suggested stopping at 10 million. As for the ranking issue, just vote in this group based on the number of votes to decide. It seems that 10 million is their limit. But did they ever ask about the dog money in the account of TNMO? Hearing the voice messages I sent to the presidents, they were all stunned and speechless. I continued to say that I didn't want to risk my life either, but my strength didn't allow it. If not, then leave the first and second place for TNMO. The rest of you can do whatever you want. The other side heard my words and advised me to take making money as the ultimate goal and not to make myself suffer. I didn't like hearing this. If you want to make money, stay away from me and make it. I watch live streams to spend money. Have fun if you dare to join hands and suppress me. If you don't come, you are all grandsons. After saying that, I left the group chat. After leaving the group, I felt very bad and could only give rockets to calm my mood. Seeing me continue to reward, the presidents of several associations sweated profusely. This idiot started again. The stream was open but not live streaming yet, and he started giving gifts. It's really unruly. Although this is a very thoughtless act, I still persisted. When I gave 7,000 rockets, the association finally couldn't sit still. Are you still fighting? Do you need to unite and suppress the Dog King? This person broke the rules and must teach him a lesson. But the others were scared by my strength. After all, keeping money in hand is better than risking your life with a madman. Then the group chat owner disbanded the group and I was alone at this time. Slowly watching them act. The feeling got more and more boring. At this time, the boss had also finished school and returned home. The two went in and talked to each other and comforted each other that they definitely couldn't get on the board this time. But when the boss opened the live stream, she immediately widened her eyes. Duong Monghan saw her strangely and hurried over. Seeing the 7,000 rockets I gave, she admired and cried. The boss sat on the sofa for a long time and couldn't calm down. She felt like all this was like a dream until Duong Monghan pinched her cheek and made her scream in pain. She believed it was true. And at this time, the boss also received an invitation from the platform and also sent an electronic commitment letter over. It seems dangerous that ordinary people would not want to take such a risk, but the boss leaned close to Duong Monghan. Monghan, let's join while they were discussing. I ran into the room and locked the door ready to start the first evolution. I was reborn as a dog and used the gift-giving task of the system to earn evolution points. When I gave the boss 7,000 rockets, I finally got the first evolution. I hugged the mood of excitement and pressed the evolution button. I only saw a huge stream of energy rushing into my body. I felt full of energy and my whole body felt like a rebirth. I thought the evolution would continue for a long time, but the next second the system announced, "Congratulations to the host for spending 100 evolution points and successfully evolving." But I looked carefully and saw that I was still in the shape of a dog, just stronger than before. I thought evolution failed and I lay on the ground in pain. But at this time, the system changed the attribute interface. The new host is Xiao Bai, a dark night wolf. The next evolution requires 500 evolution points. As soon as I lamented that my name and category were wrong, the system displayed other attributes. Innate Skill 1, Silent Stealth. With this skill, the host can approach the target without making a sound. Innate Skill 2, Black Knight Enhancement. This skill can help the host increase attack power by 30% at night. Innate Skill 3, Wind Blade Prophet. The host's 4 votes will have a very strong piercing force equivalent to a sharp dagger. These innate skills made me excited immediately. These moves sounded very cool and must be the skills of an assassin. Fortunately, the appearance did not change or else the owner would think that she was raising a wild wolf. But looking at the direction of innate skills that the system pointed out to me, I will surely become the world's top assassin. But I don't want to be an assassin. Now I still want to be a happy dog that is taken by the boss to participate in the wild challenge. I gave so much money to buy a super luxury car and stay at home eating and drinking and live streaming by the way. Isn't it better than torturing myself like this? As soon as I cried without tears and decided to run home and lie down, the system announced a new task: invite the host to accompany to Yuyantan to participate in the live stream wild challenge and help her survive on the island. No one rewards 100 evolution points. It seems that this system is deliberately messing with me. Angry is angry, but the attraction of 100 evolution points is still too great. I have to go with the boss to train. And at this time, among those invited, there was also a female star who became famous as a little fruit. Her nickname was Dogchild. She likes to play games but plays very badly. The companion of Little Fruit is Lu Trang-tuk. It is rumored that his film salary has exceeded 100 million yuan and he is called God of Calculation with the nickname Old Fox. He has seniority in 3 fields: TV, film and music. Except for the boss, these people are very famous. It seems that the next trip will not be easy. I was reborn as a dog and the boss kept dragging me to the wild challenge. I originally intended to run away and sleep at home, but I didn't expect the system to open a task to help the boss. I had no choice but to go with her to train. The participants in this activity were all famous people. Before the program started, the platform conducted 7 days of training with all the participants. And before training, everyone had to choose a team for themselves. Then they would combine 2 people into a group and divide them into 2 different islands. As soon as all the men looked at Little Fruit looked at me when I was sitting far away. She immediately happily said that she wanted to be on the same team with my boss. The reason she chose the boss was because of me. She pinched my face and said that my name was Dogchild and I was a husky. The 2 of us were very compatible. This ridiculous reason made everyone speechless. After 7 days of training, we took a plane to the destination. The boss slept on the plane and was told that she had arrived at the starting point of the wild survival challenge. But when the boss asked Little Fruit, the other party told her that her starting point was somewhere else on this island. Hope the 2 find their teammates and cooperate to survive. In the next 7 days, she will be on this island. This is a phone with other functions locked and can only turn on live streaming on Douyu. Looking at the dense forest, the boss was no longer eager. She complained to me before, "Xiao Bai, now we have to live with each other for real, but don't worry, I will take good care of you." It sounds nice, but I don't know who will take care of whom then. After leaving the forest, the boss started broadcasting a live stream of the whole journey. A bunch of netizens praised the boss for being brave because among the best newcomers this time, only the boss participated in the program. But after we went around the island, the boss was so hungry that she sat down on a rock. The boss looked at the beach behind us and loudly suggested that we go for a seafood feast. But the boss's suitcase had no tools. Although the training a few days ago had some effect, it actually consumed more physical strength than imagined because of the high temperature above 40 degrees Celsius. But fortunately someone suggested finding some fruits to fight hunger. This immediately reminded the boss. She put down her suitcase and planned to climb up a tree to pick bananas. But she slipped down before climbing much. It seems that the critical moment still has to come to me. I quickly ran into the bushes intending to try my luck. Unexpectedly, as soon as I entered the forest, I met a piglet. It seems that I can try out the innate skills I just received. Then I fought with the pig and solved it on the spot. Unexpectedly, this dog paw was so useful. Now that the food problem has been solved, let's go find some coconuts to quench our thirst. But when I tried to use my dog's legs to shake the coconut tree, it broke in half with one shot. This scared me so much. A light scratch on a tree was enough, so wouldn't the key also break? At this time, the boss was tired and sat on the ground. She was not ashamed to ask for hot pot. When I brought the spoils to her, she couldn't even open the coconut. I was reborn as a dog and after evolving, my strength was even comparable to Sess-sama. No matter if it was a hard-shelled coconut or a big tree, they couldn't withstand more than 3 seconds under my claws. When I brought the coconut and food to the boss, both she and the viewers were shocked. After a while of surprise, she picked up a branch and poked the pig. After making sure that the pig was dead, she was relieved. She quickly sat in front of the coconuts and barked at her. She immediately understood what I meant and found a sharp rock to hit the coconut hard. But the coconut didn't crack. The boss gasped and complained that the coconut was too hard. She was not ashamed to ask me what to do. It seemed that it still had to come to me. I gently scratched the coconut and it immediately broke in half. The boss looked at the smooth cut and sweated coldly. Could it be that after not destroying the house for a long time, the innate skill of destroying the house was activated? She happily drank 2 coconuts. She pointed at the pig on the ground and said that tonight we would eat grilled meat. My claws couldn't stand these pigs anymore. How could I let a girl do it? I immediately transformed into a god of food and used the internal organ separation technique to make the pig very clean. After a series of actions by me, the pork was quickly roasted. The boss took a bite and was immediately conquered by this delicious taste. She even said that it was better than restaurant rice. She held a pig leg and stuffed it into my mouth. Even the viewers admired her appetite. After eating enough, she prepared to set up a tent for shelter. She went to find a sharp rock and then sat down and sharpened the tree trunk. I looked at her speechlessly. If she continued like this until tomorrow morning, she wouldn't be able to cut this tree down. It seemed that everything had to come to me. I gently scratched the big tree and it fell down immediately. In a moment, the trunk was divided into several pieces by me. The boss couldn't believe her eyes and stood still like a statue. What happened just now? Why did the tree fall down? It seemed that Xiao Bai hit it with one shot and broke it. The viewers were also amazed and commented chaotically. Quickly control this husky or else this island will be destroyed. Is this live stream? I thought it was a science fiction movie. At this time, the naive boss finally said to me, "It seems that you have been holding back a lot lately. How come you have such primal strength now?" Then she rubbed my dog's head and praised me for being smart. If not, we would have to sleep outside tonight. It seems that being stupid for a bit is also good. She accepted that a dog could cut down a tree so quickly. At this time, it started raining heavily. The boss also hurriedly acted and finally set up a shelter before dark. Although it was simple, it could be used temporarily. From the comments of the viewers, we knew that Lu Trang Tuk had withdrawn. This also raised the reputation of the boss. An hour later, she was still live streaming and I was hungry again. The boss had to go out again to find dinner. I must be the hardest working dog in the universe. Not only do I have to make food for myself, but I also have to work hard to take care of 3 meals a day for the boss. I was reborn as a dog and had a wonderful life that everyone admired. As soon as the boss was still live streaming, my stomach was hungry and rumbling. So I planned to go out and find food. Soon I caught a big fish and ran back. The boss looked at me when I was wagging my tail and finally doubted. "Xiao Bai, are you really a dog?" Looking at the heavy eyes of the boss, I couldn't help but feel nervous. It seemed that I had shown too much. Indeed, dogs don't know how to cut down trees or catch fish. It's just that the dog system gave me such useful skills that I couldn't help showing off a bit. As I was thinking, the boss closed her eyes and did a ridiculous action. The truth is only one. You are a cat, aren't you? Did you trigger the boss's reflex? I sweated and also sighed in relief. It turned out that she was talking about this. I thought I had exposed my identity. And the viewers were commenting chaotically saying that I was a fairy descending to Earth and wanted to buy me. They were not ashamed to be fans of the boss with unlimited imagination. The boss talked to the fans while grilling the fish while we ate and drank happily. Then in another place, Little Fruit was going through a miserable life eating wind and drinking dew. Seeing us live streaming eating fish, she drooled with admiration. She also secretly decided that tomorrow she had to meet with us no matter what. The next day at 6 a.m., the boss woke up from her dream and rubbed her blurry eyes. She got up and the first thing she did was greet the fans. Although the boss's face looked very haggard, she learned from the fans that Little Fruit and Old Master were even worse. Ice suddenly rained heavily and Little Fruit could only wade through the night to avoid the rain. An old master's tent collapsed suddenly in the middle of the night and he was soaked in rain all night. He was seriously ill and then rescued by the rescue team. Seeing the boss's survival skills in the wild so good, Little Fruit's fans commented frantically and gave rockets under the live stream. They hoped that she could take care of Little Fruit. The boss also hurriedly packed up and prepared to find Little Fruit. Not long after, we arrived at the beach. The beach was beautiful in the early morning. This beauty that had never been seen before attracted the boss for a moment. She took off her outer shirt and tied her hair up. She also tied her shirt up to her waist to reveal a standard mermaid line. The risky outfit suddenly looked like a bikini. Last night, the waves were very big and there were a lot of fresh shells on the sand. The boss was happy and I ran to pick up seafood. When she hugged a pile of seafood, she suddenly remembered that she had to find Little Fruit. At first, I didn't want to find Little Fruit. After all, there was so much delicious food. Why not just eat it until the end of the program? Wouldn't that be better? But then I realized that having her was really good. I was reborn as a dog and was pushed by life to go salt drying. At this time, the boss picked up a pile of seafood. She just remembered that she had to find Little Fruit. Right then, someone appeared on the sea and shouted the boss's name. We looked carefully and it turned out that it was Little Fruit who was climbing wood. Little Fruit saw us and couldn't control her excitement. She jumped off the raft and swam to us. On the shore, Little Fruit told the boss that she hadn't eaten enough for 2 days and wanted to eat some seafood that we had just picked up. The boss hurriedly got up and prepared to cook fire, but Little Fruit had already picked up a snail and said that this kind of thing was best eaten raw. She finished her words and bit a piece. 2 or 3 pieces were eaten cleanly. The snail quickly took another one and stuffed it in her mouth. She didn't forget to hold one for the boss and told her to try it too. That way, the boss was spoiled by Little Fruit and ate enough. Then Little Fruit wanted to cuddle me. After getting permission from the boss, she rushed at me and pressed her cheek against me. The viewers saw that and also wanted to eat me raw, but I was not such an easy type. After cuddling, Little Fruit found that her whole body was full of dog hair. She saw that there was no one on the island in all directions. She immediately pulled the boss to take a bath in the open air. The two quickly went down to the sea and had fun forgetting everything. Because this image was not convenient to look at, I didn't say a word and ran in front of the live stream camera and lifted my butt right in front of the lens. The image that was not convenient to look at just let me enjoy it. The dog who worried about the fans like that was probably the only me in the universe. When the two of them came ashore, I discovered an important thing. This weather was very suitable for salt drying to eat dishes with a salty taste. I ran into the forest first and took banana leaves to catch some seawater. Then I put it on a rock to dry in the sun for a day and it should be done. At night, the two played all day and slept soundly like dead people. I worked hard for a day and also slept soundly in warmth. In the middle of the night, I was woken up by the boss. It turned out that she was hungry and wanted to grill seafood and pork for a late-night snack. Little Fruit heard about seafood and pork and immediately drooled. And I bit the boss's pants and wanted to take her to see my masterpiece. I took her to the rock where she saw salt on banana leaves. She didn't know what it was, so she dipped her hand in a little bit and licked it with her tongue. Then she knew it was salt. At this time, Little Fruit also came close and knew it was salt too. She was very surprised. Yin Tan, do you also know how to dry salt? The boss looked at me with disbelief on her face. Isn't it Xiao Bai who dried it? Tan Chiu Kwa also tasted it and turned to look at me. He said, "This dog must have become a spirit." After a short moment of astonishment, the two of them quickly packed up the salt and brought it back. The grilled meat was almost ready. I was born as a dog, but I did not play games foolishly. Since our plan to dry salt was successful, we did not need to eat tasteless food anymore. And this time, the challenge to the uninhabited Equator Island was not difficult at all. The challenge of Jen and Tan Chiu Kwa became a vacation. When the challenge reached the 7th day, the show team announced that the 2 challengers had succeeded. The number of live stream viewers reached 700 million. Their personal live stream room also reached more than 10 million. Moreover, there were many people who gave gifts along with rewards for the top 3. But the boss did not take a penny. But to compensate her, the live stream platform signed a contract with her worth 10 million yuan. A new streamer who not only relied on Husky but also got a 10 million contract and increased more than 4 million fans. This made other streamers jealous, and Dung Mom Han was the most annoyed. She was the one who led the boss into the live stream path, but now the boss was a big streamer and she could not catch up. But I did not care about her thoughts. Anyway, 100 evolution points were added to the system account. The system quickly announced a new task. The new owner gave a reward to a female streamer who ate dirt. She had to request the streamer to live stream planting bananas for 10 minutes. The reward was 100 evolution points. Seeing this task, I was speechless. The old system was peaceful. Why did it have to provoke a female streamer? But I did not care much either. I was tired lately and slept for a while before thinking about it. I slept until night and was woken up by the boss. It turned out that Tan Chiu Kwa called roll and wanted to see me. He also wanted to take the boss to play games. I could not help but be speechless. Tan Chiu Kwa played games so badly and he did not feel ashamed to teach others. But I still had to respect the boss's face. But after entering the live stream room, I was shocked by the situation. There were 12 other beautiful female streamers in the room, including Nok Tu Muoi and Tu Don Don. Tan Chiu Kwa also said that if they did not eat chicken at night, no one would be allowed to sleep. Tu Don Don's fighting spirit rose and she made a winning gesture. There was a female fierce god here, so everyone did not need to worry. The boss also recognized these 2 female streamers and immediately became tense. After entering the game, their faces became even more ugly and even the viewers were clamoring to name their team as Death Quartet. There were also viewers who suggested calling them 3 strong and 1 weak, which was more reasonable. The 4 of them were indeed very bad, but it did not affect their determination. But because the boss could not control herself and open her legs, she got stuck on the tower and could not get down. Seeing the boss 24 meters away from the ground, Tan Chiu Kwa suggested that she jump down. The boss did not understand and did not say anything. She jumped down and fell on her face. The boss looked at herself dying on the spot and got up to go to the bathroom to calm down. As soon as she left, I immediately jumped on the chair and looked at the familiar image. I suddenly felt itchy in my hands and feet and pressed the mouse button. At this time, the boss had been revived in the main role-playing game and immediately moved. All the fans also opened a betting table. I did not pay attention to their comments and picked up a gun and shot the enemy's head. I was born as a dog and also a writer who was urged by the website to update chapters. Not long ago, I was still helping the boss eat chicken. When I shot and killed the enemy, Tan Chiu Kwa was shocked. The boss's guest shooter was too awesome and a crowd of people even thought of tomorrow's hot search. Husky scolded female streamer for being too bad, stood up and shot the enemy's head. After returning, the boss did not know anything. Why did she not only live again but also have so many equipment? But at that moment, 3 other people met an ambush and quickly called the boss to rescue. The boss ran stupidly without looking and grabbed a gun and shot bang bang bang. Even the viewers could not see it anymore. The streamer still played worse than Husky in our house. Hurry up and invite Husky to fight. Seeing that, I felt guilty and wanted to run away quickly. It was time to find a streamer to complete my task. I went to the homepage and found a target. Dung Mom Han was live streaming singing. I hurried into the live stream room and wanted to give her a chance. After entering the stream room, I asked her straight if she knew how to plant bananas. Du Mong Han was stunned for a while and answered shyly, "I know, but I'm wearing a skirt now, so it's not convenient, or I'll go back tonight and perform for you privately. It seems that I have to change people." I said hello and left the stream room to continue searching. I quickly found a suitable target, a dirt-eating girl who was online. This streamer was a novel writer, and there was a link to her novel website in the lower left corner. I was curious and clicked on the link, but found that the whole screen was full of 18-plus websites. How could this girl who looked innocent and pure write such novels? And her live stream was just simply sitting and writing a super rocket to post 10 chapters. I did not say a word and gave her 30 super rockets right away, making her scared that she could not keep her mask. But I did not care either and continued to give another 50 super rockets. Finally, her mask could not bear the burden. "Big brother, don't scare me with 500 chapters, big brother, please spare me." I also revealed my intention like this: "You don't need to post 500 chapters, do you know how to plant bananas?" This made her scared and quickly asked, "Do I just have to plant normal bananas without any other requirements?" After getting my affirmative answer, she was very grateful and stood next to the wall and started planting bananas. After 10 minutes had passed, I returned from the streaming room. However, as soon as I completed the task, I suddenly heard the bosses scream, "Little White, save me." I found myself reincarnated as a dog and realized that destroying houses was a great way to relieve stress. Just last night, I was still the boss's pillar of support. When I finished the system's task, I suddenly heard the boss cry out for help. I was scared and rushed into the room, only to find that she was not in any immediate danger, just feeling a bit tense. When she saw me coming in, she burst into tears and hugged me tightly. "Little White, this game is so difficult." Suddenly, there were some guys jumping down from upstairs, and it scared me to death. I almost vomited, too. I thought there were robbers breaking in or something. In just 1 hour, I've already died more than 10 times. It's really tough. At this moment, Tan Chiu Kwa told the boss that he could not participate in the next wild challenge anymore because his manager had received a new movie for him. He also advised the boss not to join either because this time it was harder than before. This time, there were 100 streamers participating in the challenge. The location was on the Siberian plateau and the duration was a month. Moreover, he also heard that they allowed the challengers to rob each other's resources. Hearing this, I also felt worried. If the rule allowed robbing things, this silly and kind girl would definitely be robbed and might even have a life-threatening danger. I hope she does not think foolishly this time. The two of them talked for a while and then wished each other good night. The next morning at 8 o'clock, I woke up in hunger and pulled the boss's blanket and barked woof woof. But the boss was sleeping like a dead dog. I had no choice but to find something to eat myself, but at this moment, the system announced a new task. The owner was a husky who did not fully develop his nature. A husky who did not destroy houses would never reach the peak of life. The system invited the owner to complete the task of destroying a house once and get 300 evolution points as a reward. Old system brother, do you want to play me to death? Can't I peacefully enjoy life? I reincarnated as a dog and still have to make my own food. You also gave me a task that consumes physical strength to destroy houses. What is so fun about it? But I slapped myself very quickly when I performed the new task and found out that destroying things was really fun. The reward was up to 300 evolution points. I had to try hard to complete it. I did not spare any pillows or sofas. When I was destroying enthusiastically, the sound of the boss woke her up. When she saw my masterpiece, she immediately said, "In the morning, I have to stew dog meat soup to eat." Then she locked me in a cage, and at this time, the system also announced that the task was completed and I met the conditions for evolution. It asked me if I wanted to start evolving. You said too much and still asked? Hurry up. I reincarnated as a dog and still had a hot body to feed on. When I lamented the difference between human and dog, I finally turned into a human when I completed the task of destroying houses and got 300 evolution points. Finally, I also welcomed the second evolution. A stream of spiritual power surrounded me and I successfully evolved into Yumin Lang. The next evolution required 500 evolution points to consume. After this evolution, I awakened the fourth innate supernatural power which allowed me to freely transform for 2 hours every day. It seems that I finally could turn into a human after successfully evolving. The system also temporarily gave me 3 chances to draw rewards. I did not say a word and immediately tried my luck but drew twice and only got good luck next time. Am I so unlucky? Old system brother, our friendship boat only depends on this time. Draw for me this time and finally no longer wish me good luck. I got a set of Tin Vu Lien Hoa paintings which was a masterpiece of a master painter who usually wrote in the eyes of professionals as priceless treasures. But of course, I was not a professional and just felt that it was an antique by hearing its name. If it was really an antique, then did I get rich? When the boss went out, I quickly used my fourth innate supernatural power and thought. As soon as I moved my mind, my body quickly transformed. In the blink of an eye, I turned back to my previous shape. I took the scroll painting to the antique shop and entered the door. I told the manager that I wanted to sell a calligraphy painting. But the manager said they did not buy calligraphy paintings. They only did appraisals. If I wanted to sell, I had to go to another shop or to the auction house to try my luck. I was lazy in the end and did not want to look for many places. So I asked him to help appraise, but this old man was very mean. He raised 3 fingers and looked at me. The appraisal fee was 30,000. Although I did not lack that money, I did not want to let him rip me off. I turned around and went out, but the manager quickly called me back. Wait a minute, kid. I see you are handsome and give you a discount. Wait until you sell the money and pay me back. It's not too late anyway. I'm also idle. Seeing that you are quite pleasing to the eye, consider it as making a good connection. I quickly gave him the painting. He opened the painting and was immediately amazed. He quickly shook hands with me in friendship. Young people, let's get acquainted. This old man's name is Feng Tan's son. He is favored by friends in the industry and also has a bit of reputation in the appraisal circle. Seeing him start talking endlessly, I was impatient and asked him how much he wanted to sell it for. But the manager said bluntly that he could not buy this painting and blushed, wanting to recommend a buyer for me to earn some commission in between. I insisted on taking back the painting and refused because next to it was an auction shop. It was better for me to go there and sell it right away. Sure enough, this painting was a treasure and someone offered 190 million to buy it as soon as it appeared. But the auction house could not get that much money, so they had to write a check for me. Although I am very satisfied with the price, the auction wasted a lot of time. It almost went over the time limit and I transformed into something else. And now, I can't even enter my own house. I was reborn as a dog. The system forces me to spend 10 million every day. Isn't this bullying a dog for real? In the end, I only have 2 hours to transform into a human every day. After I finish auctioning off my calligraphy paintings and go home, it is already very late. I knock on the door for a long time before my owner opens it for me. But she doesn't scold me much and immediately turns on the computer to prepare to play PUBG. Thanks to the guidance of Tan Chiu Kwa, my owner has become addicted to this game. But this combination of 3 salty and 1 bland is doomed to lose. Even the fans can't stand watching them. I advise her to be obedient and become a beautiful streamer. But at this moment, I also receive a new mission from the system: invite the owner to help the internet-addicted girl who is immersed in the desire to play PUBG and make her return to live stream as usual. The reward is 50 evolution points, 1 week to withdraw twice. It seems that this mission is really a point-giving mission because there are many fans who advise her not to livestream playing games anymore. They say they want her to sing and face the opposition of 10,000 people. Finally, she stops playing games and says that she wants to hear any song. I immediately request a song that she sings really well, but every time she only sings songs for children. So I feel that the song has a stable tone like The Girl by the Bridge. I'm sure she can sing well, and it's not beyond my expectation. The moment she starts singing, she immediately attracts countless fans who are mesmerized by her voice. Everyone wants to be her boyfriend. In a moment, she receives a reward of 620,000 while she is singing passionately. I quickly sneak down to the basement to prepare to make a bank card. But as soon as I get out of the door, the system announces a new mission. The value of the owner's human life has exceeded 100 million, and it's time to enjoy the pleasure of spending money. Invite the owner to spend no less than 10 million every day for the next 3 days. The reward is 100 evolution points, and the number of withdrawals increases by 3 each time. I only have 2 hours to transform into a human every day, and they force me to spend 10 million in such a short time. Isn't this bullying me? After thinking about it, I decide to buy a set of clothes that makes me look handsome. So after making the card, I prepare to go to the largest shopping mall to see. But as soon as I enter the mall, I see Duong Monghan live streaming on the street. The song she sings is Even If I Die, I Still Want to Love, which has a very high difficulty level. My transformation time is limited, so I don't stop for long and go straight to a clothing store that looks very high-end. I look at the price tag on the clothes. One set is only more than 10,000, and there is a 10% discount. How can I spend 10 million like this? So I politely ask the staff if they cannot give me a discount. This makes them stunned and they immediately answer me yes. This employee is afraid that they will never meet an idiot like me in their life. Then I go to a watch store and see a watch that costs 920,000. Finally, the burden in my heart is relieved and I ask them to wrap up this watch for me and all the other models over there. I'm in a hurry to complete the mission. I plan to go eat a meal, but when I leave the mall, I see Duong Monghan being harassed by a thug. I was reborn as a dog. After transforming into a human, I have a beautiful streamer invite me to eat, but after ordering all the dishes on the menu, I suffer because I don't get to eat anything. When I spend 10 million and prepare to eat rice, I hear Duong Monghan still singing Even If I Die, I Still Want to Love at the same place as before. Moreover, her voice has become hoarse. As soon as I wonder if she has mental problems, Duong Monghan suddenly speaks up and says, "Big brothers, I'll take a break now. Until now, I haven't had a sip of water." Who knew that as soon as she finished speaking, a bare-chested man suddenly laughed wickedly and told her to keep singing and not stop. Then from our conversation, I learned the whole story. It turned out that Duong Monghan said that she would sing a song for a reward of 50 yuan. These two guys were excited and immediately rewarded her 5,000 yuan and asked Duong Monghan to sing the same song 100 times. Duong Monghan looked at the fierce and murderous faces of the two men and had no choice but to continue holding the mic and singing. But at this time, her throat was very painful and she couldn't sing anymore. But the two guys were no longer patient and pinched Duong Monghan's chin. "If you don't finish singing tonight, don't talk about your throat." I saw that her face was not bad and I thought I had to intervene. This behavior was really disgusting. I raised my hand and pushed the guy away. Then I grabbed the mic from Duong Monghan and shielded her behind me. I told her not to sing anymore. But the two guys didn't stop and continued to pressure us with their crowd advantage. Finally, I couldn't help but punch one of them and said, "You red-haired bastard, how dare you bully my girl?" Hearing this, Duong Monghan was stunned. Why did he say that I was his girl earlier? I casually answered, "Didn't you call me your father on your live stream?" Oops, why did I blurt it out? As soon as Duong Wang was stunned, a crowd of viewers quickly reacted and realized that I was the destined lover. Duong Wang couldn't believe it and confirmed it again. After confirming my identity, she thanked me first and then looked embarrassed and said that she wanted to invite me to eat a meal. I bowed my head and looked at the watch worth 920,000 yuan. I still had an hour to transform into a human. Eating a meal should be fine. After all, the rice at the restaurant was better than the rice that my owner ordered. After being led by Duong Wang to the restaurant, I ordered all the dishes on the menu at once. This made Duong Wang scared and quickly checked the balance in her account. There was only more than 5,000 yuan left inside. She panicked and saw my face. I also immediately understood everything. While ordering, we chatted simply. After knowing that my name was also Tan Xiao Bai, she couldn't help but think of the dog at my owner's house. But the speed of serving dishes here was really too slow. There were only 5 minutes left before I would disappear. So I made an excuse that I had something to do and quickly ran away. By the way, I paid for the bill as well. My dog's life was really miserable. I ordered a table full of food but didn't get to eat a bite. I was born as a dog and my owner heard rumors that she wanted to take me for sterilization. And now I'm sad about how to spend 10 million a day. At this time, I heard that 2 gambling masters wanted to buy a house. This also reminded me that I could also buy a house and a car. Wouldn't that make it easy to complete the mission every day? On the second day, I went to the car store and bought 2 luxury cars at once. Because I didn't have a driver's license, I could only leave them in the store. Another day, I would come to get them. It seemed that I had to find time to take a driving test. But before that, I prepared to take a bus to get familiar with Madu's roads. As soon as I stepped on the bus, my eyes were attracted to a girl because everyone around was looking at her. I looked at her for a while and knew that her name was Lai Tu Man. She was a tour guide who was live streaming her trip to Mado. Just then, I was also unfamiliar with Madu and saw that the seat next to her was empty. So I sat down. She spoke very professionally and knew the ancient points of this scenic spot well. I gave her a follow button and went out. I could still watch the live stream and learn more about Mado. But after entering the live room, I found out that the girls' live room only had 42 people. With such a low number of people, she still lectured enthusiastically. I was persuaded by her perseverance and prepared to launch my small hand of fortune to encourage her. Then I created 30 super rockets in one breath. Lai Tu Man saw the rockets and hurriedly asked if this big brother had pressed the wrong button. This was 60,000 yuan. I looked at the girl's surprised face and prepared to tease her. I'm so sorry, my hand slipped and hit the super rocket. Can I get a refund? Lai Tu Man heard this and immediately expressed her sadness. She had to ask customer service. It seemed that she was really a newbie. So I picked up my phone and turned my head to look at her. I was joking with you just now. You lectured very well, so I gave you some super rockets to support you a little bit. Hearing my words, Lai Tu Man was even more surprised. Was that 30 rockets just now a test from you? You don't have any intentions towards me, do you? Seeing her anxious and exaggerated expression, I was too lazy to explain because I was about to get off the bus and she was still sitting there without any intention of getting off. I turned my head and asked her if she wasn't getting off the bus. Lai Tu Man's face panicked and said that she would get off later, but it was too sudden. At this time, the bus broadcast reminded us that we had arrived at the terminal station. Lai Tu Man's face turned red and she didn't dare to look at me. The viewers carefully discovered my identity. I didn't take her with me but got off the bus first. Then she ran after me from the bus and wanted to thank me. But after she ran off the bus, my transformation time had arrived. There was no trace of me around, only a husky sitting on the ground. She muttered to herself, "Why is there a husky here? Where did the boss just go?" After the transformation ended, I ran home quickly. But when I got home, my owner looked at me angrily. Duong Monghan even suggested that I should be sterilized. I was reborn as a dog and lived a leisurely life at home every day. But now Duong Monghan urged my owner to take me for sterilization. After the transformation ended, I ran home quickly. But when I got home, my owner looked at me angrily. Because I had been sneaking out lately. They thought I was in heat. Duong Monghan immediately suggested that my owner should ignore whether I was in heat or not. She said that small animals were better off sterilized for their health and asked him to think about it. Then they sat down and prepared to take action. I immediately growled angrily at Duong Monghan. I regarded her as a girl and she urged my owner to take me for sterilization. Seeing my fierce reaction, Duong Monghan immediately dropped this idea and said, okay, we won't sterilize anymore. Don't bark anymore while talking and want to touch my head. But this didn't make me less angry and I kept growling at her. The owner saw that and couldn't help but worry and call some more. The others wanted to sue me for illegally raising a wolf dog because my howling lately sounded more and more like a wolf. Fortunately, the two of them didn't do anything else. It seemed that I had temporarily kept it, but I had to quickly do the mission and become a real human. Otherwise, these two guys might come up with some ideas. Very soon, the two women went to school. They were not at home and this place was my world. I lay leisurely on the sofa, ate fast food, and watched the live stream. The days were very comfortable. But I watched for a while and switched to the live channel of Light Man. At this time, her live room had more than 120,000 viewers. It wasn't because I rewarded her 30 rockets that she flew away, but I watched for a while and found out that the boring leader Meow Na came to check the room. And his motive for checking the room was not simple. He wanted to make her join his harem because of her beautiful appearance. Light Man advised him to leave many times, but it had no effect. This didn't look like checking the room, but more like kidnapping a woman. It seemed that it was time for me to go out. I went up and scolded him more and provoked him. Leader Meow Na, you brainless idiot, can you be a little realistic with your stupid appearance? You can't even afford to reward super rockets and you want to try girls. When the other party hadn't spoken yet, a bunch of her fans couldn't sit still anymore. They all told him to teach me a lesson, the little brat who didn't know how high the sky was or how thick the earth was. It seemed that my purpose was achieved. If he came to provoke me like this, he had to shed some blood. And his emotions were successfully aroused. After all, he couldn't be weak in front of his many fans. Then he snatched my line first, "Come on then, today I will match whatever you reward. How about it? You stupid human who gives gifts, I have never lost to anyone." But the other party started by only rewarding 10 rockets. When I lamented that he was so stingy, his fans started to flatter him. It seemed that I had to remind him a little bit that there was a gift called a super rocket. I directly rewarded 50 super rockets and led Light Man to see the special feature that she had never seen before. The number of viewers in her live room was about to increase to 3 million. Seeing that I was not a small character either, the other party also followed with 100 super rockets. 100 super rockets were only 200,000 yuan. After all, he was leader Meow Na and he felt pain in his heart. But he believed that I couldn't follow anymore. Then after this matter spread, it would bring him greater rewards. I continued to reward 150 super rockets and shattered his will. The other party was directly shocked and didn't act anymore. Seeing that he didn't follow anymore, I quickly used the trick of hiding the balance in my account. There was only a little left. If you reward more, I won't be able to keep up. The fans were also enthusiastic and testifying for me. Leader Meow Na, are you still rewarding? Ka Hong, Dog King, you are really out of money now. We can testify. Yes, yes, yes. Ka Hong invited someone to eat rice a few days ago and ran out of money. He didn't even have money for one meal. Today if you win Ka Hong, we will become your fans. These brothers acted well and made a whole set of clothes together. At the same time, my number of viewers also dropped by 20,000 directly. This also made the other party confused. In the end, did he follow or not? This dog was definitely showing off his wealth like a human and casually threw out 150 super rockets. If it was a trap, then it would be a big loss. I was reborn as a dog and got drunk by a beautiful woman at a fancy restaurant just because I thought I gave her 150 super rockets. Facing Leader Meow not teasing the beauty, I directly rewarded 150 super rockets and provoked him. Leader Meow Na led his fans over and unexpectedly begged for mercy. He didn't wait for me to say anything. The live comment army scolded the big brother for being a fool. He checked the room online and was slapped in the face by someone. He even had to lower his voice and apologize. They all laughed and wanted to immediately unfollow him. Leader Meow Na was furious and said, "What do you know about movie heroes? If I hadn't received the insider news before, I wouldn't have a chance to live in this industry anymore." The ID Ka Hong, Dog King, in front of me just did that and snatched the position of the best new livestream actor from the 10 major guilds. The guild leader didn't dare to say anything. He wanted to overthrow me too easily. I looked at Leader Meow Now with contempt and whispered in my heart that he was worthless. Then I ordered him to lead his people away from me immediately. Lai Tu Man saw Leader Meow Now leading his people away and her heart finally calmed down. If it wasn't for Ka Huang's help today, I don't know how to deal with it. She immediately sent a friend request and wanted to thank me for my help. She invited me to eat and expressed that she would wait for me at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning in front of the Media University of Motto. The next day, I arrived at the university gate as promised. I stood quietly by the motorcycle for a minute and was surrounded by people. I couldn't hide my dog's life. Among the girls, some wanted to ask me for my contact information. Lai Tu Man saw me driving over and didn't thank me. She opened her mouth and questioned me first. "Didn't you have a car yesterday? Why did you take the bus?" I couldn't tell her that I just got the car today and didn't have any goods. I randomly found an excuse and drove Lai Tu Man to the biggest restaurant in the city. Lai Tu Man almost fainted on the spot and was confused. She asked me if we could change to another restaurant. Why was the food here not good? Lai Tu Man hurriedly explained that she didn't have enough money in her bag. "We can just eat for free." Lai Tu Man broke out in a cold sweat and felt that he was not a pure man in front of her, but a demon who could casually say such words. In the restaurant room, when I was quietly eating delicious food after entering, Lai Tu Man drank wine by herself and even cheered up. Soon, there was a trumpet sound and Lai Tu Man lay directly on the table asleep. This made me doubt that the little girl deliberately got drunk because of money. I saw that and could only call the waiter over. After getting the presidential suite for 18,000 yuan a night, I directly threw out a gold card from it and swiped 10 million yuan to open a rich man's room in the waiter's eyes. In my place, it was just for completing the system's mission. In the presidential suite, Lai Tu Man lay unconscious on the big bed. When I fantasized about the excitement of her sleeping on the street, my transformation time came. The system quickly gave me 3 draws. After arranging Lai Tu Man's drunkenness, I found out that the moon had risen high. I silently said that it was not good. Yuyan Tan, the silly girl, thought that I was caught by a dog seller and ran all over the city looking for a dog. She was joking. Now that the transformation time had come, I couldn't use the dog state to drive. When I hurried on the way home, I accidentally saw 2 familiar figures. Weren't they my 2 concubines? It was really a flyer looking for a dog. I only saw Mom Han crying in a hurry. I had never been away for a whole day, and when I was touched by the 2 girls looking for me at night, I heard Yuyan regretting that she didn't sterilize me before. Then I wouldn't run out. The emotion suddenly turned into anger and I scolded them both. It was all an excuse. Yuyan saw me and ran towards me directly. Before she could say anything, it was a scolding. She even said that she wanted to eat all the snacks. Indeed, a woman's heart was like a needle at the bottom of the sea. I didn't understand why she locked the door when she went out the next day. She muttered in her mouth that Little White was a bad dog. I looked at Yuyan small thoughts and felt helpless. How could one door restrict me from pursuing freedom? In the guest room, there were two people sitting. They saw me coming and quickly stepped forward to greet me. Tan little brother, I don't know what treasure you brought today. They followed my movements and slowly opened it. They saw a happy expression. Wasn't this called the best grass book in the world? This card was from Lai Tu Man last night. She got Duong Qian Quan's direct expression of respect for me. Thank you Tan brother for selling this painting to me. With this, my father will definitely like me. I directly expressed my intention that I was an ordinary person and asked how much to buy. I expressed that I wanted to use this painting to exchange for an equivalent property. Duong Qian Quan directly took out his phone and ordered his subordinates to gather the business documents. The working speed of Duong Qian Quan's subordinates was good. Soon, the secretary brought the documents and listed the assets in front of me. I was dizzy and had to get used to Duong Qian Quan's strength again. Duong Qian Quan held my hand and told me to choose whatever I wanted. I chose one from the list that met the condition. The system required a 5 billion yuan Lam Sun residence. Duong Qian Quan saw that I only chose the lowest value property and said that I was too polite. He definitely wanted to make friends with this person. After finishing the transaction, everything went home before the two owners came back. As long as they didn't find out that I sneaked out, there would be no risk of sterilization. After saying that, Manhwa came home and greeted me. Late at night, seeing that Yuyan hadn't come back yet, I couldn't help but worry a little bit. Manhwa started live streaming. I opened my account and asked where Yuyan went. Then I found out that Yuyan was dragged by fans on the street to organize a meeting. I heard that and whispered that it was not good. I was reborn as a dog and my owner had a great body and fell in love with me. After transforming, my owner hadn't come back at night yet. From Manhwa's place, I knew where Yuyan was and remembered that they wanted to go see a house in 3 days. It was just Duong Qian Quan's property, so I took out my phone and contacted Duong Qian Quan to investigate for me. I was very worried and hoped that it was really an ordinary fan. The working speed of Duong Qian Quan was fast enough and he soon found out that Yuyan was at Lam Fong residence. He secretly said that Lam Sun residence was a famous entertainment area. He immediately opened his divine gift of transformation and turned into a car race that quickly ran to it. Unexpectedly, the road was too far and the transformation was about to end before he reached the door. Then he instructed the system to use the strongest skill enhancer that he had drawn yesterday to enhance his divine gift of transformation. Outside Lam Sun residence, he was stopped by someone who said that Lam Sun residence only welcomed members. He thought of this as the previous business of Duong Qian Quan. So he took out his business card. Duong Qian Quan had forced it on him. The waiter saw that he was a friend of the boss and did not dare to neglect him. He quickly told him the location of the boss. In the office, Duong Qian Quan asked the general manager of Lam Sun residence, Hoa Min, the son of Duong Lao Tam, if he had brought a girl with him. After receiving a definite answer, he thought that he had the power to draw whatever he wanted and paint himself more than 1 billion. Duong Qian Quan was very dissatisfied with the behavior of Duong Lao Tam's son. After seeing him arrive, Duong Qian Quan comforted him and said that nothing would happen to the people here before. But he was still not at ease about Yuyan safety and wanted to see for himself. So Duong Kien Kwan arranged for Hoa Min's little brother to take him to room 408. Because he showed that he would be the owner of Lam Sun residence in the future. At this time in the room, a group of people forced Yuyantan to drink alcohol and did not care about her. Yuyantan had already drunk too much and they looked like gangsters. Yuyantan opened her mouth to refuse but was scolded by her boyfriend, "If you drink, then drink. Don't be so disrespectful." When Yuyantan took out her phone to call for help from her best friend, she was accidentally taken away by her boyfriend and pushed down on the couch. Then a voice of dissatisfaction came. "Enough, stop cursing. I don't like corpses, you know." This person was the one who was hit by Duong Kien Kwan. He said he was the son of Duong Lao Tam, Duong Tan Song. Duong Tan Song saw that Yuyantan had already lost consciousness and wanted to touch her. I hurriedly ran over and saw everything. I kicked the door open. Duong Tan Song's subordinates were unhappy with me and kept complaining. "This kid doesn't know this is a VIP member room. No one can enter." I ignored the two guys who were barking and carried Yuyantan, who was asleep. I told the two people who wanted to take her away. Duong Tan Song still didn't know life or death and complained, "This is where you want to come, then come. If you want to go, then go." I quickly checked Yuyantan in my arms and immediately called Chiu Min Hoa to follow. "The rest is up to you. I don't expect anyone there to leave Lam Sun residence intact." The two people Duong Tan Song saw that and their legs were powerless. They fell to the ground and crawled to Chiu Min Hoa's feet. "Brother Chiu, I was wrong. Please spare me. My father is acquainted with Chiu General. This must be a misunderstanding." I called and explained everything to Duong General, but the man who was called Brother Chiu didn't buy this trick. He kicked Duong Tan Song in the face. The result will not change. Yuyantan in my heart kept calling, "Who's your best friend? Why do I feel so familiar?" I saw that Yuyantan could still talk and asked her if she felt better. Yuyantan was clearly startled by my concern and felt her heart racing. She shyly replied that she was much better. "If you are better, then go away by yourself. My arm is about to go numb. Isn't this truck numb? Why do I suddenly feel heartbroken? I was reincarnated as a dog. When I have free time, I will take my owner with a great body to open a room." In the room, Duong Kien cared about Yuyantan's condition and called her his sister-in-law. I was too lazy to answer Yuyantan that it was nothing, just drank too much and felt a bit scared in my heart. Yuyantan had a little thought, "What do you mean by sister-in-law? Who are you?" Why didn't he deny it? I saw that Duong Kien's family was in trouble, so I suggested leaving. In the hallway, Yuyantan thanked me shyly. I ignored the education of my owner and said, "You are stupid. Next time, can you use your brain a little? You opened a fan meeting for a small host like you. They clearly want you." Yuyantan looked at my evil wolf eyes and shivered. "Big brother, can you tell me your name? I feel like we know each other." The evil in my heart stirred and I didn't know how to tell her that I was her dog. Would she faint if she knew? Unconsciously, I soon left the door and returned to the comfortable situation in the car. Yuyantan felt dizzy and couldn't say anything about her identity. I looked at the system's reminder of the time to transform and turned my head to see Yuyantan drunk. I thought that this time could not be wasted, so I might as well do something meaningful. After taking the car to the hotel, I made room service with the person who served me and Li Xiao Man before. After I passed by him, he showed a knowing smile and pushed the door out and threw Yuyantan on the couch. I didn't expect her to have this day. I looked at Yuyantan sleeping in the car and started to take off my shirt and reveal 8 packs of muscles. I told her that she let me sleep on the sofa in the living room every day. Today, she also let her feel what it's like to sleep on the sofa. In the early morning, I worried about the time to transform and didn't sleep deeply. I woke up early and Yuyan was still sleeping soundly. At this time, the system sound came over. After seeing the task clearly, I couldn't help but sigh. What kind of devil task is this? It wants me to take my owner shopping and spend more than 500,000? Suddenly, there was a scream from Yuyan in my ear. Who are you? Why are you in my room? Please, can you look at the situation before shouting? This is my room of 18,000 per night. Giving you a couch is already good enough. Yuyan still wanted to argue. Why let a girl sleep on the couch? The scene of being drunk appeared in Yuyan head and she saw panties of all colors and was embarrassed. I dragged Yuyan to the bathroom and told her to go shopping with me at the luxury mall later. Yuyan looked at the clothes rack and said to me earnestly, "Big brother, do you want to buy clothes for your girlfriend without knowing her size? I understand girls matters. I can help." Yuyan was stunned the next second. She couldn't believe that I would tell her to choose whatever she wanted in an hour. What were these rich guys thinking? Suddenly, a voice called Yuyan and she looked over to see a girl with a good figure hugging a fat man. The woman teased Yuyan, "Is he your boyfriend?" The person who came was Yuyan's high school friend Van. She wanted to drag Yuyan to stroll around the street with her. At the same time, she clung to her lover and bragged to Yuyan that he wanted to buy her a bag. Yuyan was pulled away. At the last moment, she looked at me with a pleading gaze. Women are so annoying. My transformation time was only less than 2 hours left. What about my system mission? I was reborn as a dog and after transforming, I became a boyfriend who made countless girls tremble. Because I not only had a handsome appearance but also had super purchasing power. After I took my owner to the shopping mall, we met her acquaintance Van. Van brought her fat boyfriend to buy a bag. She insisted on dragging my owner along to help her choose because she wanted to show off in front of her. When the two women were shopping in the mall, the fat boyfriend gave me a cigarette and asked me to help him with something. It turned out that he didn't want Van to spend money on shopping and hoped that I could greet my owner no matter what Van liked later, just say it was ugly. And with the principle of fairness, if my owner wanted to buy something, he would also come out and stop it for me. Isn't this not wanting me to complete the mission? I directly refused. I don't need it. I came here to spend money. Why are you stopping me? At this time, the owner came out with a disappointed face because the clothes inside were too expensive. She indicated that she didn't want to buy anything today. I evaluated the owner and immediately mocked her. How can you wear such wrinkled clothes outside without being ashamed? Then I looked at the salesperson and gestured to the left. Bring those sets for her to try. This made the owner very astonished. Big brother, what do you mean? Don't tell me that you want to give me all these clothes. To make her obediently try on the clothes, I expressed that I wanted her to help me wear them. The owner was relieved and went into the fitting room. Van also drooled over me. This kind of handsome and generous boyfriend. But I was about to transform soon and didn't have time to stay. I hurried to the front of the salesperson and told her to pack the clothes. Then I directly took out my bank card and paid. After the owner finished trying on the clothes, she didn't see my figure anymore. But the fat pig had a happy face and said to the owner, he ran away. He also advised her to look carefully for a boyfriend in the future. But for my sudden departure, the owner was somewhat incredulous. She could only ask the salesperson. Facing Kim Truck's question, the salesperson showed a charming smile. He had something to do and left first. The clothes suit you well. He has paid for everything. This not only surprised the owner, but also the fat pig boyfriend of Van. He was so shocked that his wig flew off because he knew that these sets of clothes were worth 500,000. The owner took the bill and asked if she could return it. After receiving a negative answer, she thought that she could only wait to pay me back later. But after I left, I ran home quickly. I directly closed the door of my room because after completing the mission, I had reached the condition of evolution. So I didn't delay and directly evolved into Demon Wolf King. And my transformation time every day also became 4 hours. Mom doesn't have to worry about my transformation time being not enough anymore. My mood was very good and I went straight to the second draw. But I got a letter of inheritance and 2 old yellowed photos. What kind of ghost thing can be a reward for a 2-star draw? With an unhappy mood, I opened that letter of inheritance. But what I didn't expect was that this letter of inheritance was worth more than 9 billion. I was reborn as a dog and a big capitalist wanted to nominate me as the president of the trade association. But now I got a letter of inheritance worth more than 9 billion. This is a letter of inheritance of 9,910. The person in the story heard an expert analyze and bet his entire fortune on buying 3 million shares of TSL company. But this expert clearly drank fake wine. After he got his hands on the stock, it kept falling. In just 1 month, it had fallen to the bottom. After going bankrupt, he was chased by creditors everywhere and was forced too much. He could only choose to jump off a building. Before he died, he left the stock certificate in a metal box under the bridge of Dong Ho Lake. After reading the will, I pondered for a while and then recalled. The stock of TSK is now worth over 300 million per share and these 300 shares are also 9 billion. This is money falling from the sky. I quickly looked at the 2 remaining old photos, hoping to get some more surprises. But after studying for half a day, I still couldn't understand. And the owner had returned home by now. I only saw her holding a bowl of rice and eating like a hungry tiger. She kept saying in her mouth, "It's over, it's over." She stopped live streaming yesterday and the fans must be about to explode. Then she hurriedly hugged my neck and ran to the computer. I was a lame king in my life and almost got killed by her. I thought the owner live streamed to show off her skills, but the fans wanted to see her play games because she had been live streaming singing lately. They expressed that they had no food to eat anymore. To meet the fans' request, the owner went straight into King of Heroes Valley. But her skills didn't disappoint anyone. The first game, she was scolded by her teammates. I couldn't stand it anymore. I went straight to Lai Xiao Man's live stream, but as soon as I entered the room, I was surprised. Because the scene behind Lai Xiao Man was exactly like one of the old photos. I hurriedly asked her where she was. After knowing that this place was in Namtan of Lamjia village, I immediately withdrew from the room and analyzed the old photos. The 2 photos were taken at almost the same time, only about 3 years apart. And in both photos, the common place had the sun. Could this be the same place? Then I went under Dongdu Bridge. The stone bridge before had been submerged by the lake water. I put my head into the water and prepared to find the box first. Relying on my innate sense of perception, I quickly found a metal box under the lake bed. Under my soul-shattering force, the metal box responded with a cracking sound and there was indeed a stock certificate inside. 9 billion finally came into my hands. But when I was about to go to Namtan of Lamjia village, Duong Qian Quan sent me a message asking me to go to Lamsun for a discussion. But I didn't expect that he wanted to nominate me as the president of MA City Trade Association. I was reborn as a dog and rewarded 600,000 for playing games with a female live streamer. And now I received an invitation from a big capitalist Duong Qian Quan. After I arrived at Lamsun Hotel, Duong Qian Quan told me straight that he had to leave MA City next month. And before he left, he wanted to nominate me as the president of MA City Trade Association, which made me astonished. But I still pretended to calm down and said that MA City was too small for such a city. You are already a millionaire in MA City now. I don't express anything because I can't guess what this guy is thinking. Duong Qian Quan then told me that this time he went back to compete for his family's business. If he succeeded, everything would be smooth. But if he failed, don't say MA City, even the Empire would have no place for him to stay. Hearing this, I realized that he just wanted me to handle his business for him as a backup plan. But I'm not a savior who can protect my owner well enough. The world is cold, and why would I care about others? Seeing that I didn't talk, Duong Qian Quan started to offer me a condition that moved me. If I'm not mistaken, you must be interested in the remaining business on my hand. If Tan Huenda accepts my proposal, I can choose to reduce 10% of the business you want and sell it to you. What? 10% of more than 100 billion assets? 10% is indeed falling from the sky, but this matter is important and I still decided to think carefully.